Hello, blessed souls, and welcome to this spiritual guidance channel. I am the magical medium, and today is Moon Day. And those of you who have been walking with me for a while know that I was born on a Monday and a Moon Day. So I'm very tightly knitly connected to the moon, if that makes sense. Which is why this channel is all about the moon and the moon phases, cycles, watching Lilith take all these turns through each monthly cycle, through the zodiac, through astrology, through the stars. So today I pulled these cards the other day. I was doing my own spirit work, and these cards are from a deck called the Wellness Library. I'm in love with them. So, on the back of those cards, they say different things like stress less, good deeds, positive vibes. But I know the writing is small and you don't have to try and read it. It's really just about what are your eyes drawn to, because these are messages from Spirit for our Moon Day motivation. I don't know if this is just a one-off and I'll never do this again, or if this will be some fun segment that will come back now and again. Maybe it'll be every Monday. I don't know. But I was going to do it yesterday for Self-Care Sunday, and then they said, no, we're going to do it for Moon Day motivation. And I was like, oh, I like that. So before you are 7 different cards. They're individual readings, but really they're just messages from the stars. They're from Spirit. They're from your higher self. It's your higher self telling you what you need to focus on this week, okay? And it's the motivation because maybe it's something you're already doing. Maybe it's something you've been thinking about doing. Maybe it's something that, you didn't even know would be good for you. I'm not really sure. But I can tell you that there are 7 different choices, and maybe you want to hear all of them. If you do, stay and watch the whole thing. If not, I'm going to put timestamps below. I will talk more about it on another time, but I'm not sure if Spirit's going to have me go back to using timestamps or whatever. But long story short, if your videos are not public, they're not counted as views. And as a lot of you know, I've been doing links for a long time, and it's frustrating to see how many, so apparently I guess I'm not to a certain point because I don't have so many views, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of views I'm missing, like thousands over time. Like, it's very interesting. So I feel like they want me to do more timestamps to stay in the element of the public video, or what they're going to do is if we continue doing picker readings, they may just have me do them public. And maybe it's not about watching the intro. Maybe it's just about you go through and you see, oh, what's that reading one? You know what I mean? I don't know. But like I said, things are getting interesting around here. It's fun for me too. My triple Sag and Moon in Scorpio loves it. It's fun, the change, all that. So maybe you're drawn to the way the words are on the card. Maybe you're drawn to the crystals in front of them. Whatever it is, I'm going to go in order and I will just show you. So we have message 1, message 2, message 3, message 4, message 5, message 6, and message 7. So 1 to 7, these are our messages, and I'm just going to dive in. So if your eyes were drawn to this area here, we are going to start with message 1. What is your Motivation Monday message? Calm down by taking 3 deep breaths. Now you can take these deep breaths in any way you would like. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the first time in all of my many years of doing spirit work that I didn't light a candle. I was so excited to start this, and I was in meditation. I just was like, ta-da! So there's our candle for Spirit, our homage with grace and gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. I apologize. Okay, so calm down by taking 3 deep breaths. There are so many different breathing exercises, especially now, like out on the internet, there's a lot of different modalities, it's different for everybody. So look up what feels good to you. Also, I am going to give a shout out to Anna. Anna is, I feel like Anna's the president of my spirit work. Honestly, like I don't know where I'd be without Anna and her support. I mean, there's so many of you know I love you, but I have to give a shout out to Anna with the always sending exactly what I need. Like seriously, I was wanting one of these. We're so connected. This and this beautiful little painting. Anna, did you create that painting? It's so cute. And please let me know if you it doesn't matter if you did or you didn't. It's still rad, but it's just so awesome. I just love it. And I love how, the moon channel, this channel is really, really growing. And we've got some great, great, great energy coming in. Thank you to all of you new subscribers. I feel your energy, all of us. Like, I just feel like there's something really special happening here. And I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. So getting back to your message one, it's really just about calming down. And I don't know wherever you live on planet Earth, whether you're the northern or the southern hemisphere, it's either winter or it's summer. And I always feel like those are our months to really kick back and like chill, or do the things that you really want to do that you love. I feel like spring and fall are working. Spring is when we're planting the seeds. Fall is when the harvest is coming in. We rest, we relax in between, right? Because you plant the seeds, but it's not like you plant the seeds and the next day it's there, right? It's like you have to wait for the summer. You have to water it, you have to tend to it, yes, but it's not ready to go. It's not going to be ready to eat yet. So take that kind of like reproduction of life and earth into your thoughts, into your process when you're thinking about this. Also, there's a lot of stuff happening above me right now, and where I live, it's pretty peaceful. But all of a sudden, like I heard a biplane. Like there is a military stuff around here, but like it's rare to hear it the way I just heard it. So I just feel like there's like a lot of static energy, or maybe you're living in a city or you're living somewhere. I know one time when I was growing up, I dated this guy who lived by Midway Airport in Chicago. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, how do you like stand it? Like literally, like you can look out his front door and see the gate to the airport. And like you can feel the like the rumble of it, and if you're someone's like super sensitive to energy, you can't live there. You need to move. So I didn't know if there'd be any extended messages with these, but all I know is that it's more about taking the 3 deep breaths. But look on, there are apps, there are free YouTube videos, but look at breathing exercises. Dragon breathing is really fun. I as a dragon, like I really respond to that. But it's different for everybody. Some people like to be like, some people are like, breathe in, blah, 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 breathe out. It's like whatever makes you feel good. And also breathing with your body, like think about it, try these different breathing exercises. And even if they feel silly, do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like your avatar is calling to you and it's like, dude, I need some help. Like help me out. Right. And also I'm hearing like balancing your divine feminine and your divine masculine, getting that really, really, really sorted out. And my eyes are coming to this. And this was on my husband's tea this morning. And I wasn't sure if it was going to come in. I just knew it was available if someone needed it. And it says, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Helen Keller. And think about Helen Keller for a minute. Like seriously, think about Helen Keller for a minute. And if you don't know who Helen Keller is, you need to research Helen Keller immediately. When I was a kid, it was like you had to watch it in school or read the book. I think we read the book and then we watched the movie, like the Patty Duke movie and all that back in the 70s or early 80s. But it was life-changing. And not just that, but like years later, I ended up adopting this dog that just kept coming into my life. And it was just amazing how it happened. It's another story for another day. Beautiful story. But I brought her to the vet and I said, nobody knows, what she is. And even the vet was like, I don't know. He's like, she looks like an Akita. He goes, but she kind of looks like a wolf. She could be but she was all brindle with like white on her chest. And it was so cool because when she was walking, it looked like a heart on her chest. And then when she like sat on her butt and like had her front paws on the ground, and she looked really regal, it looked like she had an angel on her chest. I'm not kidding you. She was a profound animal. One of the greatest teachers I've ever had. I pray every day she comes back into my life. Anywho, then finally one day, somebody came up to me and they're like, "Oh, dude, is that a Japanese Akita?" And I said, "Oh, well, what's the difference?" And he's like, "Oh, don't you know the story about Helen Keller?" And he starts telling me this story, and I was like, "No." I'm like, "I didn't know this." So apparently, back in the day, the very first Akita that ever came to the United States was a gift from the Japanese emperor to Helen Keller, because she couldn't speak and she couldn't hear. So the only way for her to communicate was through sign language in the hands. It's a profound story. It's more than that. I mean, she's more than that, but just, I mean, a prophet. I mean, unbelievable prophet. But anyway, so he told me this story that Akitas were bred from wolves to protect the children of the empire, like to protect like all the royal children. And even though they would be born from the same families, if one of them even nipped at one of the children, the rest of them would kill it, because that means that there's somewhere inside of that animal that could do it. And it was like they were bred to. So that's the story. I don't know if it's true story, if it's a fable, but I always loved that story because I always thought it was really profound. And she was like the epitome of the real royalty of the original bloodline from the wolves over there. So I feel like wolf is a spirit animal that would be really good for you to work with. Also research, Japanese Akitas, and just like they asked me to do that. And to do something different. Get your mind off of your woes and your angst, because it's really brought on by yourself. I feel like you're doing it more to you than anybody else, and you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. You don't have to keep up with anybody. Just calm down, take some deep breaths. And when you feel like you're about to lose your shit, Spirit's saying, "Hey, you know what? Take those deep breaths, calm down, go for a walk away." There's a lot of anger on the planet right now. And if you're sensitive, which I believe that you guys are, it's just your body. I feel like our bodies are physically reacting to it. I'm going through similar things, so I understand. So Helen Keller saying life is either a daring adventure or nothing. So let it be an adventure. Stop looking at life like it's a chore, and I guarantee you will enjoy it more. And I can tell you from personal experience, the last few days have been like such eye-opening. The last few weeks, like honestly, I feel like we've been going through such massive transformations. And Spirit just wants us to roll with it, be in the Aquarian energy, love it, feel it, just like go with it, enjoy it, be creative, let your mind wander, write that fairy tale, or write that book you've always wanted to write it, make it into a short story. Have you thought about Spirit saying, instead of, I feel like for some of you want to turn something into a novel, and they're saying, what about a short story? What about a short story about your idea? Because you can write a short story, and then a short story can be turned into a movie, or it could be turned into a greater novel later. Wouldn't it be more fun to give everybody a little taster first? They get that little, they're like, "Oh, cool, what's this?" And you're like, "What do you mean?" Or they're like, "Yeah, I want to know more about Tabitha's story. Yeah, dude, what's her backstory? That was a cool fucking short story, man. Like, who is this Tabitha person?" I don't know why they said that, but okay. So those are your messages, reading one. I don't have a lot of time today, but I mean, not for you guys, but I'm saying, like, I feel like Spirit wants me, I could elaborate forever and go on and read for you, but these are just a little Monday motivation, Moon Day motivation to get you started. And whenever you watch this, it doesn't matter. It's timeless, right? It's timeless. But these are your messages for message one. Okay, so message two, what do we have? Thank you, message one. So message two is do something creative, whether it's painting a picture, listening to music, or writing a poem. Yes. And you don't have to be, I feel like for some of you, you feel like you have to be an expert at something. Boy, I love you so much, but message two, you guys are way too hard on yourselves. Way, 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 way too hard on yourselves. And you need to let loose. Look over here. My eyes just came to, I don't know what's going on right here. It could be glitter. It could be a sparkle fairy. I don't know, but there's some cool shit going on all around here. And I feel like the fairies are begging for you to play with them. And if you don't have any Monday motivation, then get out in nature. Because I'll tell you something, every time you go for a walk anywhere in nature, I don't care if you're in the desert, I don't care if you're in the most lush, furry, fuzzy forest of all time, there will be something in your eyesight that will be like, oh, wow, that's beautiful. A slug will come your way. Sometimes when those big, beautiful slugs will come out and I'm just like, hey guys, I'm like, what's up? And slugs leave a trail of magic. They're actually beautiful creatures. And I implore you, if you are a gardener, do not poison the slugs. There are so many things. Look up natural ways to get the slugs out of your garden. In fact, your mission, should you choose to accept it, message 2, is to research the slug spirit animal. Work with the slug spirit animal. Also, the gorilla has been coming to me for weeks, and then finally today they asked me to create a video for them. So go check out my shorts and look for the gorilla video. And you can pause this, you can hit the screen, you can tap the screen with your finger and it'll pause it so you can read the message. But lots of good medicine in there. That was good for all of us. I love gorilla spirit medicine. I've been working with the gorilla a lot over the years, but they haven't come in quite a while, and they started coming in towards the end of 2022, but they would kind of dip in and dip out, and I was going to include them on the spirit animal for 2023 when the alligator came through and some others, but graciously the gorilla stepped back, and so I feel like this was the time that they wanted us to see that. Also, blessed Chinese New Year to everyone. Blessed Lunar New Year. Look that up as well if you're interested in the water rabbit. Maybe you are the water rabbit. So if that is your Chinese medicine, if that is your spirit animal medicine, remember that if you are in the year, if you're the rabbit and you're in the year of the rabbit, it's not the way you would think it would be. You think, oh, it's my year. No, it's actually not. It means like it is your year. I just like kissed my medicine bag. It is your year. However, it's your year to work. It's your year to work through a lot of stuff. So 2023 is going to be the most amazing year we've ever had, I believe, up till now. However, it's the way you look at it. If you look at it like everything is like, oh, fuck, and you feel like you're being pushed against the grain, you're not going to enjoy it. But if you go with the flow of it and you laugh through it and you listen to your intuition and you go with the flow of the energy of it, I think you will enjoy it more. Also, remember that this is such a transitional phase because we just transitioned from 2022 to 2023. Now we just transferred out of the year of the tiger to the year of the rabbit. We also just transferred out of Capricorn energy into Aquarius energy. And then after Aquarius, we will have the Piscean energy, and then we will have the end of the zodiac, and we will have the rebirth of the zodiac sign in Aries. So this is a very big transformative time. That's why I feel like winter and summer is the time for us to really like just take it in and take it slow. And I say that because we have northern and southern hemisphere people here. There's a reason why it tips like that, right? Because when we are in northern or southern, winter or summer, we are in the same kind of energy, just maybe different temperatures. But when we are in the spring and the fall, we are in working time, whether we are planting or we are harvesting. Do you feel me? Get me? So this is your time to be leisurely and creative and listen to more music. I'm bringing Wiggle Wednesday back. For those of you who remember when I used to do Wiggle Wednesday, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm doing Wiggle Wednesday because it's just good. It's like we have to at least once a week just get your fanny out of your chair and put on some music and dance. I make my husband do it and he's like, I feel silly. I'm like, good, then feel silly. Dance until you don't feel silly. Dance till you don't give a fuck. That's what I want you to do. Write a poem, whether it's through love, anger, either way, you're going to work something through. When I go back and look at some of my poems, I'm like, man, I was going through some dark shit, but it's okay because I'm like, wow, I feel like I need to put my poems out into the world because I even reading my own stuff again, it's like we are our own sensei, right? So it's like, holy shit. I mean, I know I keep talking about it, but I feel like it's my anthem, and I feel like it's everyone's anthem right now. Flowers by Miley Cyrus. I am not getting paid to like push her. I'm just like, when you just have those moments where you're like, wow, this is a really profound individual. And I've really like loved her for a long time, since she was twerking and everyone was like, I felt this need to protect her. I was like, leave her alone. I'm like, she started as a fucking teenager. Like, let her be. Like, we all did stupid shit when we were her age too. And recently I saw something pop up in my feed, and it was something about that, where Barbara Walters was like, do you think it's okay that she's acting like this and blah, blah, blah. And her mom goes, what is the difference? She's just doing it in front of people. She goes, she's being 20. She's like a 19, 20-year-old figuring herself out. And I'm like, yes. So I don't know how old you are. It doesn't matter. It's just like, wherever you are, you're figuring something out. So while you're figuring it out, do it through art. Because I saw something recently where they were talking about, I'm laughing because of the delivery of the character's awesome. It's Nikola Tesla as a vampire in a show called Sanctuary, which I'm obsessed with right now. And it was like, he was talking about how when the vampires ruled the world, he goes, all the most beautiful music, paintings, whatever, the Renaissance, all came during that time, because everybody was just happy and joyful, and there was no pain, there was no suffering. And it was really interesting, their take on it, obviously. But I thought, yeah, we have had some really beautiful light periods. The dark has been around for too long because they took away that. When they started taking music and art out of schools and it became more like militant, I'm like, something's wrong. I'm like, something's like off balance here. So the way for us to find that balance is through our creativity, is through our art, it's through our self-expression. You need to be heard. You don't have to be a quote unquote professional artist to have something to say. You have something to say. And even if no one ever sees it, it's for you. And you save those notebooks and you go back and you look at your own work and you say, wow, look at how far I've come. I'm so proud of you, and Spirit's so proud of you. So keep going, message 2. We love you so much, and be creative and share your creativity. Tell us about you. Tell us in the comment section below. Do you have a channel? Would you like us to support you in a creative way? Or is there something you wanted to do? You want to start your own channel? Do it. Who fucking cares? Look, I'm doing my own thing. I don't care what anybody thinks or if people subscribe. I mean, this is like, for this is my work through Spirit. This is my purpose. But, Lula's life is something that is like, it's mine, and I can do whatever I want with it, and people like it or they don't. So not everybody is going to cater to you, right? Not everybody's going to drink your Kool-Aid, and that's okay. So take good care of yourselves and each other, okay? I love you so much. Bye. All right. So message 3. Okay. Message 3. I feel a similar vibe. Don't be afraid to spend time alone with your thoughts. Put down your phone, switch off the TV, and just sit for a while. Yes. I guarantee you. I'm guaranteeing you this because I know it's true, because I'm telling you from personal experience. I guarantee you, if you turn your phone off and you go into nature, you can bring your phone with you. I'm not saying like, I get it, but to be honest with you, in a lot of places, especially where I hike, there's no phone reception anyway. So if you want to go get lost somewhere, tell one person that you trust that you're going there and bring your phone with you. Turn it off though, and go for a walk in nature. Maybe there's somewhere in nature that's like 2 hours away and you've wanted to go there for the longest time. You're like, I've always wanted to do that hike. I've always wanted to blah, blah, blah. Spirit's like, then what are you waiting for? Also, the full moon, they kept having me shift it and I didn't understand why. So I feel like for some of you in real time, it's moon day. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, they didn't have me talk about it. I forgot to talk about it at the beginning, but I guess this is for you. So, the moon day motivation was actually for our root chakra, you guys. I forgot to see. So work on your root chakra, message 3. Work on your root chakra, which is getting grounded and getting connected with yourself and nature. This is a big deal. And also, if you have amethyst, work with it. If you don't and you can afford to get some, please get some like ASAP. Also, I feel like this Larimar wanted to come in. So work with water energy. It could be water energy that your body is needing. River, lake, ocean. I personally believe in my own existence, in my own whatever, that the best way to really cleanse with water is moving water. That's me. If you have like a lake by you that's like so massive, but I just feel like water that's always cleansing itself, to me personally, is where I feel the best. Um, but, to me, I feel like lakes hold a lot of stagnant energy, and I feel like you guys have a lot of stagnant energy. I almost feel like Spirit's saying, like, you're the lake. And so you need to move your water. You need some running water. It's like those lakes that are only there like when it rains too much. Like in the summer, it dries up and it's like barely a puddle. But then it's like in wintertime, it's like, a big pond. It's not the same. It's just holding dirty, stagnant water. And I feel like that's what Spirit's saying about your energy. Also, clean it up. Bring in either, if you can, look up all the crystals and stones that help take away the electromagnetic smog. Black tourmaline's a really great one. There are many, many, many. Labradorite. And also, I feel like this stillbite was over here. So maybe if you guys are drawn to some messages over here, you might want to check those out as well. But stillbite is a good one for you too. And I feel like this is you. Like, you're like this sparkly whatever, but you can't really see you because you're so dull. And your light is dull because you have been allowing people to steal your thunder. And we were just talking about the Gorilla Spirit Medicine. So go check out in the shorts, in my shorts section. I did a video today for the Gorilla Spirit, wanted to speak to all of us. And strength, endurance. I mean, there's a lot of messages from wisdom, but also observing and sitting in nature. The gorilla speaks to that. Getting involved in environmental issues, like maybe for all the time you're spending on your phone and TV, or and I'm hearing like for you, like I actually see somebody like pacing, walking around on their phone, like jibber jabber for like 3 or 4 hours, almost like you can't be alone. I ran across somebody like that last year, and I couldn't pinpoint it. I couldn't. They were so lovely, and they were such a beautiful person, and they were kind and loving. But whenever I was around them, I couldn't. I just literally had to get out of their way. Like I was like, I can't stand their energy. And then finally one day, my husband and I were talking about this person, and I was like, why am I feel bad. Like, I know they don't mean to be that or whatever. And he like nailed it on the head, and he goes, because she can't be alone. He's like, there's an anxiety around her that's like, he goes, I feel it too. And then like our other friend was like saying something like, yeah, like they'll call me because they can't drive, they can't be alone for even on the phone, like they can't drive. They have to be on the phone with somebody when they drive. Like, it's just like they're never ever alone. They're always on their phone, always on their Bluetooth. And I thought, wow, what that means is that your root chakra is really off base. And so work with your root chakra, research it. If you're not familiar with it, that's your homework, your mission, should you choose to accept it. But also the moon is there because in real time, the first quarter moon is Saturday, and then the full moon in Leo, the snow moon, is on February 5th. So I feel like from whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course. So it's until the time you watch this, until the next full moon, you know what I'm saying, in your world, at your cycle and time. But for those of you watching this in real time, today is the 23rd. And so from the 23rd to the 5th, I feel like Spirit really wants you to stay off your phone as much as possible. I researched the Aquarian energy, and I thought I knew a lot about Aquarians, but there's something really special about them, and not just them, but the energy. Maybe you're an Aquarian, but just the energy of Aquarius in general. We are in the age of Aquarius. So research the age of Aquarius, the dawn of time, the rebirth, whatever. There's different things that people say about it. But also this has been coming up. This came up in another message as well. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing, by Helen Keller, and research Helen Keller. But yeah, I mean, you're going to find your answers when you're alone. It's like you're looking for someone else to heal you, to save you, to change you. And I'm feeling a lot of anxiety around you. And this is no like shade at you at all. I'm telling you this because I've been there. I still work through this sometimes, but I love being alone. But once in a while, when I catch myself being like, needy baby, greedy baby, and Bob Wiley from What About Bob? If you want to chuckle, watch What About Bob? I know it says switch off the TV in your phone and sit for a while, but also I'm just saying, like, when you want to escape the world, like, turn your phone off and actually just, like, go watch the movie, rent it or something. Although I guess not everything's connected now, right? And that's not an accident that they connected us all like that. And it's kind of gross when you think about it, because the electromagnetic energy, the electromagnetic smog, it really does dull our senses, and it fucks with our auric field. It makes us feel like from like smooth sailing, it's like to this like static electricity. And I'm feeling, this tribe, we're a bunch of sensitives, right? Like we can't just turn it off. I had this discussion with my husband yesterday where I was trying to explain to him, like he's like, "Oh, I just tune it out." I go, I can't tune it out. Like I tried to, but it's like someone is attacking me. I don't know how to explain it any other way. And his arrogance came in, and he was just like, kind of like, well, if I meditated more, like this kind of, and because I'm a telepath, I can hear his thoughts, and I kind of like chewed him back at him. And I was just like, listen, no, I'm like, this isn't about that. I'm like, I really do have like limitations, and some of us do. And when people say, oh, you can meditate your way out of that, I'm like, no, 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 not all of us. We are different creatures. We come from different places. I feel like that was driving somebody nuts, so I hope that makes you feel better. So control too, right? We can't control everything, and we can't control everyone, but we can control how we respond to it. And so after we finally worked it through, I was like in tears, crying. And I said, after all these years together, it frustrates me and makes me sad that I still have to explain to you that I have certain limitations, at least at this point in my life. And I was like, why can't you respond with kindness? I'm like, why is your response arrogance? And then when I like really explained it to him, he was like, I guess I never thought that I was being like that. I go, yeah, it's like you're making it a competition, like you're better than me or you're stronger than me. I'm like, instead of being like, oh, wow, I can see that's hurting you. How can I help? I love you. And I think that something inside of us, like our love for ourselves and each other, has been like dying. And like, we've become these like, toughen up and be strong and blah, blah, blah. And it's like strength. Yeah. Like the gorilla shows us that, yes, we can be strong, but where is your strength coming from? Is it coming from bullying and brute force? Or is this somebody bullying you and brute force against you? So maybe you're like hiding away on your phone and you're watching TV, or you're just, whatever. It's like, whatever it is, don't be afraid to spend time alone with your thoughts. And remember that your thoughts don't control you. You control your thoughts. That's a tough one for us to remember, but it is so true. So when you feel these thoughts coming in, and when you're thinking like, it's like life is an adventure. It's a daring adventure. Think of it as fun. So when you're thinking of it as a stressful thing, or I have to do this or I have to do that, be like, everything will be okay. I know that spirit has my back. Find some affirmations, look for positive affirmations or videos or meditations on YouTube or apps. Use your instincts, because just because they're out there, you guys, you have to this isn't for you to be fearful about. This is about using your intuition to hone in on whether or not that it's good. Because sometimes I would find a meditation and I like the picture or the words or something, and I'd lay down and I would start to get into it, and I'm like, they would be saying one thing, but I would be feeling the other. Like they'd be like, relax, calm down. But I'd hear, be fearful. People are out to get you. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, because I'm a telepath, I was like, what is going on? And I realized that there's a lot of subliminal messages out there, you guys. And it's not for you to be afraid. It's for you to know what's going on. And we don't want to think that, right? Like we don't want to think that people are out to get us, or that it's a bad, but it is a mad, mad world out there. It is a mad, mad world. And we cannot, unfortunately, we can't trust everybody. So you have to use your instincts and your intuition. And I feel like you guys are going, because when you're alone with your thoughts too much, it makes you sad, or it makes you upset, fearful. Work through these, face them, and then get rid of them. There are mantras and things that you could do to change your way of thinking. The only way you're going to change is if you do it yourself. And you have to rewire your brain. And I know it's hard. I really do. I'm going through it myself. But we have to do it every single day. I said that to my husband. I was like, you know what? I go, I know you don't want to hurt me, and I know that you love me, but I'm like, we're so close. We are best friends. I'm like, we're best friends, but we're also, lovers, and we're married, and we have this very, very intense, intimate relationship. So we have to care for one another. This isn't a competition. And I just think that taking that out of your mind will help you a lot, because I feel like either you were pushed really hard as a child, or your teachers, or I just saw somebody playing an instrument, like maybe, so you have a whole different view on the world, right? Imagine if you're like a professional athlete, or some any profession, really. Your father's a surgeon, so they want you to be a surgeon. So from the time you get your little doctor's kit when you're 5, you know what I mean? There's pressure that gets put on us from all over the place, and so much subliminal shit. So how are you going to know what thoughts are yours and what thoughts are somebody else's if you don't know? So take that time to be quiet, put down your phone, switch off the TV, and just sit for a while. And I highly recommend to connect with your root chakra. Put your bare feet on the ground. Get your bare feet on the ground for 30 minutes. I promise you, if you do this, it'll heal you like you will never believe. And I've done it in the wintertime. People actually dig through ice and snow to still get to the dirt. And the interesting thing is, if you bury your feet in the dirt, even in winter, your body starts to go like you're fine, because the earth like feels your body heat, and it helps keeps you warm, and it helps heal you. All right, you guys. So those are your messages. On to message 4. Love you so much, you guys. I'll see you next time. Okay. So, they're telling me to leave that up. Okay. So message 4. Share what's on your mind and confide in a friend that you can trust. Okay. This is a biggie. Another one with life is either a daring adventure or nothing. This is a fun little, it's a pick a card, but it sings like in Spirit's own way. And I feel like we're just going to like move them down the line. There we go. Okay. So share what's on your mind and confide in a friend that you can trust. I just shot this shorts with Lionel Richie's Hello. And the part of the song they had me use was, because I wonder where you are and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone loving you? Tell me how to win your heart, because I haven't got a clue. So let me tell you, I love you. So I feel like it's time for you to reach out. I feel like some of you have been in like the hermit stage for a long time. You've been working through your stuff. And I also feel like I didn't really finish the message for message 3 with the moon. So I don't know if you're staying here, but I'm going to bring this over. Or maybe you were meant to hear message 3. Maybe it's a 2-parter with the moon. But I feel like a lot of what is going on with you is the moon. I almost feel like I'm getting this vibe of like when the moon is full and I'm seeing like a lichen. I'm seeing a werewolf. I'm seeing like this person who, I know when I used to, when my moon cycle was coming through, whenever I was bleeding on a full moon, I like leading up to it, any time around the full moon, whether I was leading up to it, getting it on it, whatever, it could be all different things. And, this is for everybody, but yes, I mean, the female body is very hormonal. We are all hormonal, but as you can tell, everybody is affected by a full moon. But when a woman who ovulates and has periods, when a female body is going through the moon cycle and shedding the blood, there is something really profound when it happens around the moon. And did you ever notice, like, if you live in a house of a bunch of women, you sync up? And, and it's like hell for anybody who lives there. That's not because you're just like, oh, dear God in heaven, right? Because you don't know who's going to, like, what's going to happen. But I'm just feeling like for some of you, you're going through a transformational time like that. And it could even be that you're like, as you're coming into your spirit gifts, like your moon cycles are getting more intense, or your moods around your moon cycles are getting more intense. And maybe this is for somebody who lives with somebody that's like that. And this is a message to you. So it's what I'm hearing from Spirit is it's good to talk about it and confide in a friend. And if you don't have a podcast or a YouTube channel, I feel like there's some of you that have been thinking about doing that. And this is where this wanted to stay in, because I feel like this message is for you. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Okay. So don't be afraid to do it. I mean, look at Helen Keller. She traveled the world and she couldn't hear anything and she couldn't speak. Can you imagine? Traveled the world by herself. Well, she had people who like helped her, but I mean, you know what I mean. In the end, if she's somewhere and something happens to her companions, she is by herself in another world. She can't speak. You know what I mean? Like, that is a brave soldier. And I feel like you guys are really brave too. So speak your truth, share what's on your mind, and confide in a friend that you can trust. If you don't want to broadcast it out into the world, you don't have to do that. But at least pick up the phone, get out of hermit mode. It's time for you to share what you're going through, what's happening to you. I feel like for some of you, you're going through some type of metamorphosis, though, like the lichens, like the werewolves, and you don't know how to explain it. Maybe you are. Maybe you are literally a werewolf and a lichen. I believe if you can dream it, if we know about it, it's possible. I feel like that werewolves really happen, and I don't think they're just a metaphor for our inner demon or our inner wolf or our inner animal. You know what I mean? I have seen shapeshifters. I can shapeshift. We all can shapeshift. Now that people have been doing it between these apps that like totally change your face, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can go on and on, but I feel like for you guys, there's something going on. And also I'm seeing somebody writing and it's journaling, or maybe you've been journaling or you went back and you found an old journal in your closet and you're like, this shit's good. I should turn this into a book. Do it. Because by you doing that, there's going to be someone else out there just like you that's going through something similar. And even if you help one person, if you change one person's life, if you talk one person off the ledge, you, my friend, have completely been successful in your earthly mission. But the full moon, definitely there's something with the full moon with you guys. So we were just talking about it, one of the other messages, that the full moon in Leo is on February 5th. And what'd you say? Hold on. Spirit's trying to remind me of something. Also, work with your root chakra. I forgot to mention it at the beginning, or at least I guess I thought I did, but I mentioned it in one other message, but the root chakra is coming through. Oh, so it's the full snow moon in Leo is February 5th, okay? So it's also, I believe it's one of those, it might be the one that I remember, it's going from Sunday to Monday, and Monday's a moon day, so there's something with that too. What is that? Waitangi Day? Am I saying that right? In New Zealand. That's interesting. So maybe you guys are from the Southern Hemisphere, from New Zealand. Maybe that's for you. Also, they wanted me to bring up that Imbolc is February 1st to February 2nd. And February 2nd is Groundhog Day. And it's a Wednesday to a Thursday. And I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but maybe you're somebody who've been wanting to like really talk more about your witchy practice, your pagan practice, and Imbolc is just the halfway point between winter and spring. So if that's something that feels good for you, then definitely put it out into the universe. Do we have any more messages for that, Spirit? Nope, that's it. Share what's on your mind and confide in a friend that you can trust. And they're saying, and use your intuition on that. If there's somebody that you used to talk to about stuff, but you found out through the grapevine that, you know, they were like kind of mocking you or whatever, but to your face, they're like, oh no, I believe in your stuff. I believe in your stuff. But then they're talking smack behind your back. They're not your friend, because your real friend, your real family wouldn't talk smack about you. That's not friendship. So, you know, somebody that you can tell your innermost secrets to, and they will not judge you. You know, that's this tribe here. We love you. You will never be judged ever, ever, ever. We love you so much. All right, until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you. Bye. Love you. Okay, so now we are on to number 5. Oh, I love this. Okay, you can do anything, but not everything. Now listen, I didn't show this to the other readings, but see how the other cards, the yellow, they said stress less on the back. Yours says positive vibes. So we're going to talk about that, because there's 3 different decks in the Wellness Library: positive vibes, stress less, and good deeds. And so this was the only one that came through. So positive vibes, let's keep that in mind. You can do anything, but not everything. And also, I'm feeling like I want to kind of come in a little bit closer. Like I want to get a little more intimate with you guys. I'm feeling a lot of sadness and depression. So much pressure. Goodness gracious. So much pressure, beloveds. Oh my gosh. Spirit wants you to know that you are not fucking responsible. Like, they're having me get serious. That fucking was mine. Like, I just want to throw it in there. But seriously, you are not responsible for someone else's well-being unless you are a parent. And even so, you have to build boundaries with your children and say, no, I cannot do that right now, or no, that cannot happen. Also, you can do it in a positive way, because I get this feeling that people are afraid of you, or sometimes, like, I feel like you're like hot and cold. Like, you're either like super positive and happy, but if not, it's like, bitch, get out my way. I will fucking tear you down. That's not for everybody. When I looked down, it was 4433. You're the first message that gave an angel number. So that is an angel number for you to work with, research. You can even add all the numbers together and look at it through numerology, life path, whatever feels good. That's just your own little personal message, okay? But I'm just hearing from Spirit, keep those positive vibes up. And this isn't a tongue lashing or a scolding. This is just that you create your reality. And so if your reality doesn't feel good and it doesn't feel right, they're saying it's because your mind is constantly going, and you're not allowing the positive vibes in, because you're like, and I got to do this and I got to do that. And they're like, no, you do not. You are not responsible for another person's happiness, not even your child. Right? If you are happy and positive and your best self, that is the best gift you can give any person around you. When you are not, and I also feel like you think you're failing at life. Spirit's like, you're not failing at life. You're just trying too hard. And they want you to, this has been coming in for a lot of the readings. Remember that life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Have fun. You're taking it too seriously. You know what? If this is around kids or a relationship or something, call in, play hooky, go do something fun. The world is not going to end because you don't go to work that day, or kids don't go to school that day. Take them ice skating, take them for a snowball fight, If it's in the summertime in the southern hemisphere, take them to the water. Wherever you are in your process, like whatever's happening, like just enjoy life. Also, the fairies and the angels came in. Talk to the angels, reach out to them, because they're here for you. You don't have to take on the burden yourself. And they're saying, like, they had me bring it down a little bit, because you're depleting your energy. And when you deplete your energy, you're bathing too much in the dark. And you're filling your head with thoughts, endless thoughts of things that you can't do or haven't done, or you thought you were quote unquote supposed to do. And Spirit's like, the only place you're supposed to be is where you are in that moment. That's it. And at night, remember that you're only supposed to sleep in that moment. Nothing else, just sleep time. Anything else can wait for the next day. And if it didn't happen and it didn't work, then it wasn't meant to happen that day. Don't try to control it. Let go of control. I'm working on it too, my friends. I love you so much. I know how hard it is. And the message we've been getting from the Gorilla Spirit Medicine, look in my shorts. Not in my shorts, but in my shorts feed. Ha ha ha. We need to lighten it up a little bit. But that was my ankle cracking, right? It's about being present and living in the moment, looking around your environment, enjoying it. Be the change. Don't let your thoughts control you. You decide what goes through your head, and you decide how you respond to your thoughts and the way that other people treat you, talk to you, their actions, how you respond to it says everything about you. Okay? And I'm just going to leave it there. All right, we love you so much. We support you. We love you. You are not alone. Cry it out. Get it out. And then at the next full moon cycle, party it out. Do something nice for yourself. Buy yourself a nice little piece of cake or whatever, I'm like, I love food. I always go to food. Take yourself on a nice hike. Go take yourself to the movies. Maybe you haven't done that in a long time. All right, you guys, we love you. See you later. Bye. Okay, so now we have message number 6. Use a meditation app before bed to help you relax. Okay, yes. So if you weren't here for message 5, you might want to zoom back in and watch message 5, because I'm feeling the same. I almost feel like for the rest of the video, hold on, I gotta go this way. They want to go dark a little bit, because I hear like night night, like night night, bedtime. And I'm hearing for some of you, you have a hard time with your child or your toddler, because I'm hearing that for real. Like at first I thought it was spirit being cute with you, like night night, but I'm hearing like you're it's almost like the more you're trying to put your child to bed, the more they can, I feel like your child, or maybe it's children, maybe it's been of you. If you're here, you're so gifted. I'm not surprised your children are really gifted. You have to remember that children are little sponges and they feel everything, right? And especially your children, they're very gifted. So if they feel your angst and your anxiety of like, I just want to put you to bed, I just want time to myself, they feel that. And there's something inside of them, because they're children, that triggers this alarm of, you want to leave me, you want to abandon me. And maybe this could be a person. Maybe this isn't even a child. This could be like an adult who is going through something right now and their inner child is trying to speak to you. So I'm just hearing that maybe if you give them your 100%, like just be present. That's what we just spoke about in message 5. If you just be present in that moment, they will feel your presence, the calmness of it, and they will feel calm too. And they will easily go to sleep, or they will, because I'm hearing like, I almost see like somebody like that's like my husband's been having that too. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he started chewing. He started grinding. He's like, I don't know. It was like an old thing he did when he was a kid. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. So we're all going through different things. And I spoke to him about it. And I said, I feel like it's your inner child that's trying to talk to you. So I feel like this is a multiple message for all of us who are witnessing message 6. So it's time to, if we bring our energy in and it's just calm and it's present, then we bring the calm and the presence around us. And I'm seeing like a screaming toddler. And, I remember one time many moons ago, one of the shamans I worked with said, you should be able to meditate in Times Square when everybody gets off work, sitting on a bench or down in the subway station. They're like, you should be able to sit there quietly and patiently and not sink it in and not let it come in, not let the sounds, not let the nothing, now, mind you, this is something I've been working on for several moons. So be patient with yourself and there's a lot of apps and there's a lot of YouTube videos, but we spoke about this in some of the other messages, that be mindful, use your intuition, because sometimes they have some negative subliminal messages in there. Just because it says it's spiritual, it says it's for your greatest and highest good. No, research them. Meditative Mind is a good one. There's a lot of really famous ones out there. Look for the best ones. Look at reviews for them that are done by actual spiritual people and not like, USA Today's spiritual section, Not there's anything wrong with that. That person is still doing something good for the world, but you hear what I'm saying? So, when I looked down, it was 51:57 and then 51:58, and then it keeps going. So I feel like Spirit is saying that's enough for now, but also you may want to work with those numbers, and those numbers may have something to do with frequencies. I'm just channeling. So you may want to work with some frequency meditations that'll help you calm down, that'll help work and restructure and rewire your nervous system. Okay. All right. So those are your messages. We love you so much. We'll see you next time. Blessed be. Okay, so our last and final message number 7. Wrap up in a cozy blanket and be gentle with yourself. Did I not say I felt like this was just going to get like darker? Like I was feeling that, like seriously, from Spirit, like that we just want to go down. We want to make it cozy. We want to bring in, the rose quartz and the grounding of earth. We've got all these like nice earth energies. We've got water energy, the healing amethyst. We've got selenite, quartz crystal to amplify it. Let's bring in some amplifiers. Okay. There we go. Amplify that energy. So, your mission, should you choose to accept it, reading 7, message 7, is when you have had enough, you say, I need some time to myself. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. You can have a cozy blanket at work. You can have a cozy blanket in your car. You can go out to your car. Like maybe you need to take a break from work. Maybe you're somebody who eats through lunch. Spirit saying no. Make sure you keep a nice, warm, cozy blanket and a pillow, and keep them in a nice, clean bag. Like, make it just like your own little, where you can bring it everywhere you go. Yes, your blankie. I just heard somebody be like my blankie. And it's like, yes, like your blankie. Because because we are adults does not mean that we stop feeling. It doesn't mean that we stopped, needing that gentleness. And the best way for us to heal as a species, as a planet, as earthlings, is to self-care and be gentle with self first. What a great way to wrap up these messages. Thank you, Spirit. It has been a long road for all of us. We are all on different paths, dear ones. And each of us have our own story. And you know what? If it hurts you, it's important. Sometimes we get these subliminal messaging from our families, our friends, from social media, TV, movies, to be tough. It's okay to be tough, but we also need to be tender and gentle, as the beautiful gorilla has shown us. They had me put together a gorgeous little video for them this morning. It's on my shorts, so on my shorts feed, go check it out. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but you can't miss it. It's beautiful. You see them right there on the cover. But there's a time to be strong, and there's a time to be gentle. And so Spirit is saying, when you don't have strength left, be gentle with yourself. Wrap yourself up in a blanket and a soft pillow and rest wherever you are. Maybe you have a park that you love to go to, and you can bring your blanket and your pillow out there and go lay out in the park. Nobody's going to say anything to you, and even if somebody did, ignore them. I feel fear, like you're afraid to be yourself. You're afraid to be gentle with yourself. And Spirit's saying, please don't be afraid to be gentle with yourself. Because how we treat ourselves is how we treat each other. And if we're taking better care of somebody else than ourselves, why are we doing that? Self-care is the most important. If we all took care of ourselves, yeah, we push ourselves a little too far, and we need a friend. We need the arms of someone like a cozy blanket to give us a hug, to reassure us and be gentle with us, a nice soft shoulder to cry on, a strong family friend, lover that you can put your head on and just say, just hold me for a minute. And if you don't have that, it's time to find your community and your people. No more hiding. But when you're feeling sad, you wrap yourself up in that cozy blanket and you envision Spirit and all the angels. Feel all their little fingers and hands all around you, touching you, hugging you, holding you. And I want you all to do me a favor right now. I want you to close your eyes. And if you're driving, then I want you to just clear your mind as much as possible. Pull over if you can. Pause this. Just close your eyes. Take in some deep breaths to remind your avatar that you're alive. Because if you're alive, you have purpose. And if you have purpose, there's a reason why you're here. And you're not meant to walk this earth alone. None of us are. We love you. Spirit loves you. You are not alone. Wherever you come from, your freak is my freak. Your weird is my weird. We are all different. We are all made from different fibers, of different cloths, of different species, from different places. And the universal being that is us. We are one. You can never be alone because we are one. And if you want to be alone, you say to Spirit, I wish to be alone right now. And you will feel very alone. And it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's like you just want to sit in your aloneness, and that's okay. But right now, I want you to think of the happiest moment, the happiest day, a warm, sunny day. And if you don't like the sun, maybe you're a moon gazer and you like the stars. But I want you to think of your most fondest place in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. And I want you to go there. And I want you to look around you and see all the ancestors, all the spirits, the angels, the archangels, the dragons, the unicorns, the Pegasus, the gnomes, the fairies, all of them, the spirit animals, the spirit guides, our benevolent creator, the gods and goddesses. They're all here supporting you, loving you, walking you every step of the way. None of us are here alone. We all are assigned guides. Every single one of us are assigned guides. Some have more than others, but you can call in as many as you want. Before this reading, I called to all the corners, the four corners, the north, south, east, and west, and all the elementals, earth, air, fire, and water, and all of the energies and entities that are attached to them. And I said, please walk with us, heal us, be with us, be our cozy blanket. And they're here to offer you help and guidance and healing. All you have to say is, I accept it. I accept you into my life. I accept the healing into my life. Whatever is in my greatest and highest good, I accept it, Spirit. And so it shall be, and so it is. Blessed be. Oh. And there you are. I hope these messages helped you in any way. And if you watched all of them, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it as much as I did. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. And don't forget to give the goddess moon, Lilith, a little love today on Moon Day, the Moon Day magic day of the universe. Until next time, blessed be.